Are you with public safety?
Yeah.
There was a crazy guy in there yelling and stuff on stage.
The New York Times has destroyed national security programs in the middle of a war. In the middle of a war, published classified information. Are the New York Times editors in jail?
I wasn't inside.
Okay, but there is a crazy guy. I think he's, I don't know, he might be a problem.
These are people who are technically, have committed treason.
No, he was just in there and he left. He was screaming about Islamofascism and everything. He was completely nuts.
We put up a video called The Violent Oppression of Women in Islam, which has been kicked off YouTube because its images are too violent. And it will show you clitorectomies. You can view it on my website, a front page.
His name is David Horowitz. I don't know if you should...
During the week of October 22nd, far right-wing operative and former communist agitator David Horowitz deployed his conservative allies to universities across America to warn of the supposed threat of what they call Islamofascism. Horowitz appeared at his alma mater, Columbia University, for the week's grand finale. Surrounded by a phalanx of private security guards and beneath an image of a woman being shot in the head, Horowitz launched into an hour-and-a-half-long tirade about his own persecution.
The attacks on us are entirely political. They are vicious. I have so many scars on my back. If I use the term Islamofascism, Alan Combs said, you're saying, well, Muslims are fascists. No, he is. If you look up my name in The Spectator, you will find my old friend Todd Gitlin referring to me as bonkers. But of course, if white racism makes every white person a racist, and of course there are people on the fringe who think that, it makes Alan Combs a racist. Or David Horowitz, he's bonkers.
Later, Horowitz issued an important qualification.
I don't feel connected in any way to people, to child molesters who torture little children.
Then Horowitz trained his sights on his perceived oppressors.
The Democratic Party has divided this country in the middle of a war, and then the Democratic Party betrayed the war and betrayed this country in betraying the war. There is no American more responsible for the war against us than Jimmy Carter, which is certainly why he got the Nobel Peace Prize from the left-wing Norwegian Prize Committee. You know, Sidney Sheehan, just to pick one loon, is like, you're just an American traitor. And you leftists in this room support these people who hate women and who hate gays. Well, I don't know if they're... The left has a long history of being on the wrong side of freedom and supporting monsters. How one-sided is your education? Well, why isn't this poster on the walls of the Women's Studies Department?
This poster, David Horowitz had used this poster to promote Islamofascism Awareness Week and claimed that it was a woman being buried alive for some sexual crime, when in fact it's a scene from a Dutch movie. This woman is a Dutch movie actress and she's still alive. So he had to remove this poster from his website. But this woman is enjoying a good career as a movie actress right now. And her eyeliner is well applied.
But when I asked Horowitz about his comparison of his own father with 9/11 mastermind Mohammed Atta, his inner demons rose to the surface.
Is your father one of the Islamofascists too?
It's amazing to me that people can actually read words and not understand them. Adults, but you know. Thank you for bringing up.
Sorry, I submitted that question. Can I read the quote from the book?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what I said. So, if you want, you can read the quote.
Okay, you write, like Mohammed Atta, my father was an ineffectual man thwarted by his earthly desires. Even though my father prided himself on being a practical man without illusions, he shared with Mohammed Atta and his believers an impossible dream. What Mohammed Atta and my father wanted was an escape from this life. So, is your father one of the Islamofascists?
Well, if you read on in the passage, you will see that I deal with that. But thank you for bringing the book up. I'm going to answer your question. So let me.
Okay.
And I will say, my father would never fly airplane into a tall building intending to kill people, but he identified with people who did something like that. which is communists. And I think that's why the left is in league with the Islamofascists. Because the Islamicists, these radicals, believe that if they can institute Islamic law universally, they will redeem the world. The left thinks that we're the great Satan also, because the left has a vision of creating a kingdom of heaven on earth where there's no racism, no sexism, no homophobia, no poverty, and no war. A complete fantasy. There will never be social justice, people, because the only people who can enforce it are people like you and me and Ahmadinejad and Jerry Falwell and Jerry Springer and all his guests. What do you think is going to bring about social justice? They will do it at the point of a gun because when they get their revolutionary power, that's who they are. Anyway, that's what I think.
I want to be a circus clown, running around, falling down. I want to be a circus clown. That's what I want to be.
We have a First Amendment in America, which, to translate it, is the right of every American to embarrass themselves in public.